middle-aged guy here, coming to you from my garage. Please, excuse the mess, please. So, yeah, that Mutt Ranch video. It really, I'm still in pain. It's been about a week and a half, almost 2 weeks, and my foot's still bugging me from the surgery. So, I decided to face facts. Let me get my finger out the way here. Face facts, and pretty much come to terms with the fact that I'm getting old, and recovery time isn't what it used to be. So I had to make some changes, and had to do some things to make getting around that property a little bit easier, because you see that property looks like the gateway to hell. It's rough. I bought myself an ATV. This is a Canyon. Yes, it's Chinese. ATV. It's a two-wheel drive. So far, it's been pretty good. I got it for less than I would get a new one at this size. I guess a new one around this size probably runs you about $6,000–$7,000. This was way less than that. A few things about it. Of course, it's got the racks on the back and the front. It's also shaft driven, and it's got a little spot there for a ball for a little hitch on it, which I do need out there. It's still in the break-in phase right now. Like I said, I got it brand new. So the only one who was able to mess this up was me. If it does get messed up, and it won't. Once again, excuse my fat finger there in the way. But otherwise, it looks pretty good. It rides pretty well. So let me take it for a test drive right now. I'll be right back, and we'll go over some of the things I've done to it so far to help improve, you know, just the overall longevity of it. Okay, so one of the things I did, I don't know if you can tell, is this part right here. So when they assembled it, I took it off because I was having some issues, and I noticed I noticed that the ignition harness right here and the hazard light harness right here were pushing up against these bolts, and they were getting pinched. Actually, you can see where a little bit of the tape was worn off on this one. I'm gonna repair that here in a minute. So I took it apart to see what the problem was, and the problem was very simple. They had used these little bitty short bolts, these little bitty short bolts, to mount them on here, and they were way too short. That's what was causing me to bite down on those harnesses, and it was going to cause damage at some point with all the rubbing and the crimping. I'm trying to avoid any damage because of stupid reasons, I guess I should say. So what I did was I went to Home Depot, and I bought two longer, I think they're 40mm length screws. The size on them, it's a M6-1.0, and I put them up under there. I don't know if you can be able to see that. Let's see here. Oh, there's the other one in the back. See this one right here? Okay. So I bought the screw, and I bought two little spacers. They have these little nylon spacers, and I stuck them under there to give me some relief. Tighten it back down, and on both sides, you can't really see this one here because of the harness, but maybe we can get under there. Let's see here. Trust me, it's there. I did the same thing to both sides. And what that ended up doing was pulling that center piece up a little bit and taking the stress off those wires. Now, the other thing I did was the oil that comes with this is shipping oil. It's a really, really low grade oil. Trust me, it sucks. I did run it maybe a total of not even a couple hours with it, but just to kind of break it in. And I ended up replacing it. I drained it. Look, the thing is, the maintenance on these is super, super easy. It's not that difficult. So I bought a synthetic oil, 10W40 synthetic, and I had it right here somewhere. I guess that's a big old mess in here right now. But anyways, I ended up replacing it pretty much immediately after that when I rode it around. Excuse the camera work, man, because it's a little hot in here. And yeah, when I drained it, and it got a reusable oil filter in it, so there's no oil filter to replace. You just take the little screen mesh out. They say solvent, so I just use some carb cleaner on it just to blow it out and stuff. And of course, you know, being a brand new motor, there was a lot of metal shavings in there, which is good. That's what you want to clean out. So I cleaned all that out, drained the oil, cleaned out that filter, reassembled everything, lubed up the little O-ring that's in there, filled it back up. It takes about 3/4 of a quart before it's full. And actually, that might be a little bit too much, but it's around 3/4 of a quart. So if you do your math right, do the math. By your fourth oil change, you should, actually by your third oil change, I think, or third or fourth, you should be able to get another oil change out of the, save the oil. And all I do is, like I said, I'll use, when I do the second oil change on this, I'll pour whatever's left into the first container and keep going until I got 3/4 of a quart, and then I'll do the oil change on that. The other thing I did buy also was this Lucas synthetic. It's a gear oil. Actually, it's a transmission and a differential oil for the gear, because this one does have, like I said, it does have the transmission spot to change transmission fluids on the front, and then it does have a differential on the back. So I drained both of those, metal shavings in those, which was expected. The only thing was that, man, just in the few hours I drove it, and it's only been like 2 or 3 hours that I've ridden it, you can smell the transmission oil that was in there that came with it was already had a really burnt smell to it. So changed those out, filled them back up with this stuff here, and once again, nothing but synthetic. And the only thing that really bugged me when I bought it, that really kind of ticked me off a little bit, was the fact that they have to do a test run on it. So of course they're going to put shitty gas in it, right? What I ended up doing, I think I had this on my other video. Let me get the canister. I bought a gallon of this, and actually I bought 2 gallons of this. The small engine fuel, the 4-cycle premix 0 ethanol, to run it, because like I said, it's brand new. That carburetor is brand new also, and you don't want to have any issues. And if you use that cheap ass gas that we're using, it's going to just gum up the carbs off the bat, and that's just a crappy problem to have with something that's brand new. So I'm using this to break it in. It is a little pricey because it's a higher octane fuel, but actually if you read the directions on this thing, or read the product information, this stuff is good 5 years in the can, or 2 years in the machine, which is awesome. And it's ethanol free. I think it's like a 91 octane. And I know everybody's telling me it's just Chinese. Why are you stressing over it? Because I want it to last. It was my money that bought it, not theirs, and they're not going to pay for it once it goes to shit. So anyways, I ran about a gallon. I still got some in there right now, and I'm using it to run through, but I've been giving it some thought, and I think that's all I'm going to run in this thing is going to be this. Just like my little Harbor Freight generator that I've been breaking in. I've been using the two cycle stuff that I told you on a previous video, and it's fantastic. That damn thing starts second pull every time without fail. It fires right on up. So I'm gonna use this this Ceph, and there's another brand too that they sell. You can find it at Home Depot or AutoZone, and Walmart's where I get it. It's about 20 bucks. Like I say, excuse the camera work. I'm just holding this thing up with my hand. So right now what I'm doing to it, and I'm sorry, get back to what I was saying. My mind's going 100 miles an hour here. I'm going to be using that in this ATV exclusively. That way we'll just eliminate the crap work at the beginning with things getting gummed up or fouled up. I just want to avoid that altogether. So I'll be using that for the ATV exclusively. I'm not going to take any chances with pump gas. I just won't do it. Another thing I got to do to this thing is some of the wires, I don't like the way they're being placed, so they're kind of exposed. So I'm going to shrink wrap them here in a minute. And then I got, instead of electrical tape, I'm using this stuff called super tape. It's the stuff you stretch out and wrap around, and it's supposed to be like weather, heat, water, hot, cold, apocalyptic resistance. So we should be good with that. I went ahead and changed out the spark plug that came with it. It's a Torch brand spark plug, and it's a Chinese spark plug. It works okay when you're breaking it in, but look, just literally the few hours I've ridden it, which is less than 3 or 4 hours I've ridden it, you can tell it's already got a lot. It's been burnt pretty bad, and it's supposed to be brand new. Who knows? But anyways, it was in pretty rough shape. So I went ahead and replaced it with NGK. It's this is the model number for it, for the 250. They wanted it gapped to like 0.6 to 0.8 millimeters. I went ahead and gapped it to 0.7. And I went ahead and installed it. Took the little cap off of the NGK that came on here, just unscrewed it and installed it and snapped it back in. And actually, throw some trash real quick because it can go. Yeah, it's running a lot better. I mean, even on startup. Let's start it up real quick here. And turn it on, and then just hit the gas, the start button. Yeah, that's it. Just show you how choke is off all the way, just like that. Starts up. Let me turn it off real quick. key out. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So what I can see already is maybe a little 12-inch LED bar up top here, a little winch down there, a little Harbor Freight jaw prop. I think I've seen them for like 49 bucks. And I did notice it's got this little panel right here, which is probably where I'll put the buttons and switches for it once I get them ran. But yeah, other than that, I'm pretty happy so far. I'll keep y'all posted on the progress and all the other good stuff. But yeah, that's it. In 1 second, and we will get back to our regularly scheduled program. I'm gonna keep breaking this bad boy in. That's what I got for the property from Mutt Ranch, because I am not making a walk down that hill anymore. I didn't film the going down the hill part because there was literally too much stuff to do and try to film without killing myself at the same time. So I appreciate it. Like, share, subscribe, all the other good stuff, and I'll keep y'all posted on this. This is middle-aged guy rambling on and signing off. Peace.